Hi, and welcome to another episode, which is a part of the InfoSec Philosophy and Theory series. And today I'll be focusing on a meditation practice that I believe is important for security professionals. It's a pure one. It has nothing to do with any religious direction. So, let's start with the map. It's a little map I made of the article I'm about to read. Vipassana for Web3 DeFi InfoSec. Let's just have it focus here. Okay. So, on one side, moving from left to right here, we have theory and practice of observing reality. We have sensations, we have suffering, and we have facts. And above this, we have equanimity. So what does it mean, reading the title, the subtitle here, The Treasure of Human Sensations? What might this all mean? The types of sensations we have, perhaps, are, well, not perhaps, this is the sensations we have. They're all classified into these types. Weight, movement, cohesion or yielding. We have hot or cold, and we have space. We do know also that sensations arise, persist, and pass away. So we will continue here at this line. Suffering. So how does it relate? When clarity is observed, what is that? Well, when we have a contact with a sense or sphere, this can cause craving. And all this is impermanent, so impermanence, how does that play a role? The facts. This is the experiential event horizon of mind meeting matter in the human design. So equanimous observation, what does it do? It eradicates craving at the subconscious depth. And with the right understanding, you can have the right action and the right livelihood of a person. And this is where we do reconnaissance, whatever our specialization is, and in this case, dealing with Bitcoin. So let's get right into it. I'm sorry that was a bit out of focus. That's why I was pausing there at moments. I'm not sure why that's happening. Well, now we have the article in front of us, and it is Vipassana for Web3 DeFi InfoSec. Web3 is the latest iteration of the internet, the tools on it. Decentralized finance is DeFi. It could also be called ReFi for regenerative finance. And InfoSec is information security. So published in my Cyberpower Telenoia Medium publication. As with all the headers in my articles, this one is available as an NFT as well on OpenSea if you click the link there. And we begin. How to live as a human being while everything arises, persists, and passes away. This article is a continuation of my writing about InfoSec foundations in the Web3 DeFi ReFi sector. It is a brief introduction to the theory and practice of observing reality as it is, first mentioned in the previous Cyberpower Telenoia article. It is important to me because I cannot envision being an InfoSec professional without having a need to taste facts. I care. I need to be able to know facts by direct experience. I have a need to work on myself because I am unclear. As long as I am unclear, I can't be 100%. In my work, along with millions of people, I find that one of the main spiritual transmission on this planet contains a particular universal wisdom which was rediscovered about 2,500 years ago. This had been lost since antiquity. Next, it was treasured remotely for over 2 millennia until 1969, when it resurfaced again at the right time. The practice of this wisdom was called Vipassana, and it teaches how to sense reality, how to taste facts. On clarity. What is awareness in human experience? It is necessary to be able to recognize that there are people with developed awareness. It is such people that can offer a point of view of what a human being may become. What is a sensation in human experience? It is necessary to be able to define one's own personal direct experience of sensations. Otherwise, it is not possible to have clarity of meaning in the experience of consciousness. There can be no clarity of Vipassana without participating in a free 10-day course available in most countries many times a year. We now live in a time when no understanding can be had whatsoever in any field, without clarity in the experience of sensations and of the fact that human psychological evolution is possible. Why do most humans live in illusion? Because it is easy and requires no work, it seems like enlightenment. Why would a human want to function right and to live to fruition? Why isn't objective duty something normal? What is the issue in the tissue? On spirituality and technology. One may know and understand the open source framework of Vipassana, but there is a deep spectrum of experience which makes it genuine, real. For this, it will be mentioned here that a school is necessary for the adequate conditions which transmute theory and philosophy into living wisdom. Questions to ask oneself. What is my experience of life and why is this significant? What am I? What is my experience of the body and of the mind? Where do I have the most difficulty in my experience of life? How do I suffer? Birth, old age, sickness, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, distress, association with unlikable, disassociation with likable, not getting desirable. Human suffering is universal to all human beings. If there is suffering, then somewhere a sensation has given rise to craving and thought. On truth. The observation of sensations offers the only means to examine the totality of our being. This increases clarity of meaning. Try feeling sensations with your body. This is not possible. Only the mind can feel sensations. The contents of mind also manifest as sensations. Every contact between the human being and outer world is at the body level, yet it is the mind that senses. The elements observable in human experience through sensations are earth, which is weight, air, which is movement, water, which is cohesion and yielding, fire, which is heat or cold, and space. These are the smallest particles that the mind can sense as they arise, persist, and pass away. This is the essential taste of experience at the deepest level of the mind, impermanence. It is essential to understand equanimity based on the experience of impermanence. Constant, thorough understanding of impermanence without reaction is experiential knowledge of reality, as it is. Both sense door sphere and outside world sense object are impermanent. The depth of this experience is liberation. Theory. The right effort in the observation of sensations offers the experience of the arising of suffering through the sense door spheres as they relate to the outside world sense objects: eye, ear, nose, tongue, touch, mind. This next section will be listed, so it's better to see visually as I'm presenting in the video. And I will read through it a certain way. So, for example, the eye moves towards the eye object, anything enticing and pleasurable to this sense. Continues to eye consciousness. Continues to eye contact. And this is the experiential event horizon where mind meets matter in the human design. The sensation continues into perception or cognition, continues into mental reaction or recognition, continues into craving, continues into thought conception, continues into rolling in thoughts of I objects. I'll show this again on screen, the whole thing, and I'll read it faster one time. So for example, I to I object, to I consciousness, to I contact, to sensation, to perception, to mental reaction, to craving, to thought conception, to rolling in thoughts of I objects. Now the ear has a similar process. The nose has a similar process. The tongue has a similar process. And the body has a similar process. I'll read through the mind because it is an interesting one here. As information security professionals and anyone working in security, it is a highly analytical, technical, engineering kind of direction, or mostly has been, and I am proposing that it can be balanced with the other senses even, and especially so. Now, how would that and why would that be? Is this an abstract concept? No, it isn't to me, because if you think about, you can use your mind to think about the other senses and what this is speaking about. So if you have wars, well, people on one side and people on the other side have certain sensations and certain feelings and certain reactions and certain cravings. And this is about how those cravings arise. And so with meditation, there would be no war of this kind that is happening. However, at the same time, there's a very interesting argument that, well, so those who are not participating and are simply having a great time on the planet, perhaps outside of the wars, and they even see the childish nature of wars, well, and they're just off meditating in the field, and they feel good and happy and everything's fine with them. Now, the reality is, and my personal challenge as well, there are people about to fly nuclear warheads overhead and just destroy that, and those people meditating in the field. And so, is that okay if life on Earth is destroyed by such entities? I don't think so at the moment. Next, so I'm reading the part about the mind here. Contents of mind, mind consciousness, mind contact, sensation from mind contact, perception of mental contents, mental reaction to mind objects, mental contents, craving after mind objects, mental contents, thought conception of mind objects, mental contents, rolling in the thoughts of mind objects. So this is a sequential process of how this happens. So you have the mind and you have contents of the mind. So when the mind meets the contents of the mind, that's where mind consciousness is. So you have mind contact, and then you have a sensation from the mind contact. So the mind contacting the contents of mind. Sensations arise from this. So when you think of something, you have sensations in your body that arise. And you can perceive these, and you can react to these, and you can crave these. And you can have deeper conceptions of these, and you can just continue rolling endlessly in these. So the source of this sequence is a transmission of wisdom from antiquity. It is the view of reality by a maturing human being. When a sensation is observed by direct experience with a developed awareness and understanding of impermanence, then the source of suffering gets eradicated, because no reaction and no craving is produced in the chain. At the deepest subconscious level where mind and matter meet, which is purification on the path of truth, for realizing a quality of being beyond senses in this life. So what is the practice? To experience sensations properly, there is a practical method of observing the body with its sensations and the mind with its mental contents. For the purification, overcoming of sorrow, extinguishing of suffering, and walking the path of truth and realization with ardent meditative awareness, constant, thorough, equanimous without reaction, understanding, direct personal experience of the knowledge of the sequence of interaction of sense-door spheres with sense-world objects, of impermanence, of arising, persistence, and ceasing. So it is the constant, thorough understanding of impermanence. Constant, thorough means equanimous without reaction. Understanding means direct personal experience of the knowledge of the sequence of interaction of sense-door spheres with sense-world objects. And impermanence is about the arising, persistence, and ceasing. So in order to practice this, you can have constant, thorough understanding of impermanence throughout moments in your life when I remember myself. So observe the body, respiration, and the whole body. Positions with their postures, such as sitting, standing, lying, walking. Also seasons and nutrition. Observe sensations, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant or neither, neutral. Each comes with or without attachment. With attachment means with flesh, material, sensual. Without attachment means without flesh, pure, immaterial, non-sensual. Observe the mind, the type and state. Reactive mind, craving, aversion, delusion, or free from, collected or scattered due to 5 hindrances. Expanded mind, advanced beyond, or unexpanded, ordinary. Surpassable mind, which is mundane, or unsurpassable. Concentrated mind, or unconcentrated, not near absorption. Freed mind, or not freed. Those are the types of mind in the state. Observe mental contents, whether they're pleasant or unpleasant. Might be hindrances, sense desire, aversions, sloth and torpor, agitation and remorse, doubt. Observe the process of the absence to arising to presence, and how it gets eradicated, no longer arises in the future. Whenever in the world of mind and matter there is something enticing and pleasurable, there this craving arises and gets established in each of the sense-door spheres. The clarity of meaning. Right understanding, understanding of suffering, arising, and the path to cessation. Right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood. With the right effort, one can prevent, eradicate, develop, and maintain. Generate will, make strong effort, stir up energy, apply mind, and strive. With the right awareness, dwell ardent with awareness and constant thorough understanding of impermanence, observing the direct personal experience of body and sensations, mind and mental contents. The right concentration is detached from craving and unwholesome mental states. This is a first absorption, born of detachment, accompanied by initial and sustained application of the mind, filled with rapture and bliss. Treasure. This article, written by Maddie K., was filed under InfoSec, Vipassana, Experience, Sensations, and Suffering on Medium. Thanks for joining me on this exquisite, unique perspective from the secret normal layer of information security professionals. I'm excited to have shared this in point form mostly. It comes from my multiple experiences, having taken the multiple 10-day courses of Vipassana. You can look these up on dhamma.org. I can load up the website as the last thing we do here. And just briefly show that on screen. And there it is. And you can learn all about the courses and the tradition and have your questions answered. There it is. And for the time being, I thank you very much for your attention. I hope this episode displayed some direction of clarity in this way. And if you enjoy this podcast and wish to offer support, you can do so. BitcoinSecurityMaps.com is the website. NOSTR clients we do use, and you can offer support there. And the Fountain.fm app is good for sending Satoshis, bits of Bitcoin. Thank you very much. And until next time, I will see you at the meetups.